Now, so we are going to see some reusable component, and with the reusable component, like what are the various ways we can pass from parent to child, what type of various data we can pass, how that data we can handle in the reusable component. And these are the mostly used or mostly reusable component which we have to create when we work on an actual enterprise level application. Fine. So considering like everyone, those who joined, like basic what is input and what is output, you know already, because if you don't know that, then this won't be of so much of use to you, because I won't be explaining that. Just the way how we use it, that will be the focus. Fine. So we know that reusable components plays very important role whenever we are working on an actual project. So when we talk about enterprise applications, so enterprise applications are very big and they have a very strict UI combination also when it comes to development. Let's say if you talk about certain button also. Okay. So consider like you are working on an insurance domain. Application is very huge. So many teams are parallelly working. I'm not just talking about one team. For one module, there will be one team. For another module, there will be another team. So many people are working on the same project. So again, like for that particular insurance company, there are multiple different projects also, but all should follow same something unique design, right? Projects are different, but they will come under a same umbrella, right? So they need to follow some UI design and everything. Again, now consider like in one project you have a need. Let me show you that. Show more and show less. You might have seen something like this. So wherever we have to show some data, and if that data is so much, more data is there, multiple characters and multiple words are there. So somewhere we use something like that. So by default, we show some data along with dot, dot, dot. And if we click on it, then it will show the remaining data. And again, if I click on it, we show it. So this is just to, so that our UI should not break, our UI design should not break. That's why we use this functionality. So consider this is a functionality is there, which you are going to need in particular component. And same kind of functionality in your project also, there are multiple places are there where you are going to need something like this. So instead of creating it again and again in the all the component, you create a reusable component of it. That is the main use of creating reusability, right? But consider again, as I said, like considering insurance domain, in your project you are going to need this functionality. Just like that, in another project also you need this functionality. So again, in your project you created a reusable component, but again that team will also again create reusable component. Same set of logic will be here also and there also, right? So instead of that, we create another project where we will just have reusable things like this. Either you say your custom directive, custom pipe, or custom reusable components. So let's say you have 7 to 8 different projects, and in all the project, what are the common things you have? Let's say it's a reusable table, reusable card, or reusable something like this. Everywhere, just a minute. Everywhere you are going to use this same code. So not every team don't have to create this thing again and again. So there is a different project which you will handle just the shared thing. Okay. In some project, they instead of creating project, they create the Angular element. Okay. So reusable components are that much important. Again, don't just consider like this is kind of a reusable component example. Even your text box, button, label, radio button, everything can be reusable. When you get a chance to work on a project where so much big thing is there and UI concentric is there, means UI should look same in all the projects. So they don't allow you to create a text box also. They have a reusable component created already. They don't want to create a button also. They have created reusable component already for the button also. Because let's say button primary, secondary, and warning something, 3 or 4 button. Overall application in different project, only 3 or 4 that kind of button should be visible. Okay. So reusable components are so much important. That's why those who are in the interview process, they might know like input, output, and again, how many types of reusable components you have created. These are very famous questions, right? Sometimes they might ask you to create some reusable component also. Okay. Now we are going to see three. This is the first one, show more, show less. It is relatively easy. Then reusable card. Here we can pass the HTML also, and the finally reusable table. This is little bit It's very easy, very short code is there, but it is very useful. Okay. Yeah. So let's start. This is the project I'm going to use. Inside reusable folder, I have created all the component, my card, my table, and ShowMore, showless. So in this component, we are going to cover the first scenario. If you see this example, this is with JavaScript. So what is happening? By default, we are showing some text, right? And if I click on ShowMore, I'm expanding that text, right? So how many input let me just unmute. So considering this example, how many input you will be needing? Let's say whatever you are seeing over here, you need to create a reusable. Yeah. So what are those two inputs? What you will pass
Show
in?
height like something like close or open.
No.
Sorry.
Title, subtitle.
No. Forget about this. Ignore this. I'm just talking about this. How many input you will be needing?
Text, one input.
We didn't just one.
One text will be needed. And how many character you want to show? Correct?
Right.
Because
Yes.
whenever you create something reusable, everything should be configurable. If you don't provide a way to provide the count also, like what's the default character I want to show. Let's say in one page you want to show minimum 20 character according to the design. And in one page you just want to show 5 to 6 character. So that should be configurable. So two inputs we are going to need, a text and how many character you want to show. Okay, let's start. This is the thinking process you should start. Okay. Now, so design, let's get the design from over here. You have a paragraph, or let's start from basic. So first we are going to need the input. So let's say we are going to need two input at the rate input. Text, data type obviously string, by default I'm initializing empty, at the rate input, min char to show, data type will be number, by default I'm assigning 0. So I have created two input. Now, again, if you see this example, are we going to need any event over here? Correct? Because on click of it, we just have to show the complete text or the limited text, right? So we are going to need a variable, but before that, let's start designing the UI first. Now, so this is the variable where you are going to get the text. So normally what you will do, let's say in this paragraph, I will just print whole data. Okay. Now this component, I will use it into my test component. That is the parent component. Okay. Here. Let's add the import. It's a standalone, so we need to add the import. Now, so in this component, we have created two input, right? So let's pass text is equal to single quote. I'm passing some value, just like over here. This is my first input. Or instead of doing it over here, now let's create a variable and then let's pass it. Sample text. Okay. So in my variable, in my component, I have created this variable. Now this variable I will pass as an input over here. Fine. Let's save it and check it if we are able to show it also. Slash test topic. Fine. So this is coming over here. Everything what we are sending because we didn't add in any condition. Now, by default, we need to show the limited character. Okay. So this is in this variable, we are going to get the limited character. How many character we have to show? So now second parameter. Let's say I want to display 20 characters only by default. Now this is your whole thing. Okay. Let's create one more paragraph. In this text variable, you are going to get whole your whatever the string is there. If I have to show the limited number of character, what do we have to use? Anyone? if I have to show the limited number of character, what do we use? Do we have any pipe or something? What can we use? Yeah, you can unmute now. I have to show from this
We
text, I
use
have to show the limited.
we use main length.
Sorry,
Main.
inline.
Main length is a
Custom pipe.
Pipe.
HTML attribute.
Custom pipe.
No, not custom pipe. No, where is slice is there, no? Slice pipe, right?
Slice
You can use slice,
JavaScript
right?
function.
Sir, we can do by using the character count. We can get and then we will show sir on UI.
See,
We can
slice
also
pipe
use
we will
custom
try.
pipe.
Can we
But
use
again,
a
like-
slice JavaScript function?
See, whenever you are creating reusable, you should not use something again in that reusable. Getting it? If you want to handle that, again, you will create a pipe that won't make sense. Okay. So substring is there, JavaScript substring. What's the use of substring? JavaScript substring, right? We can extract number of particular character from it. So let's try with that first.
Yeah.
Then I will explain the slice pipe. So text dot substring. What it needs? Start and end. Like you have characters, like start and the end. How many character you need? So we will start from 0. And by when you need, we have a second variable, right? So that is minimum character to show. Okay. So here we have sent 20 characters. Okay. So see, second paragraph, 20 character. Understood? Getting it?
Yeah,
Here we have shown
understood.
everything, and here we are just limiting whatever the number of characters we need. Okay. Now we just need to toggle it, how it is behaving over here. We should have a button, and on click of the button, we should just toggle it. So how can we manage this? You got everything, right? But currently it is showing both of the things. Now we just need to toggle it. So how you will do that?
NG like true false.
Right? NG for something. Okay.
NG template something.
No, you just have to hide and show,
if.
no? Let's say I will create a variable is show more.
Yes.
True
Boolean.
false like some.
So
I will by default I will make it
based
false.
on the Boolean field.
Okay.
After that, it will show
And
how.
if this variable is false, what we need to show? By default, something with limited. And at the else, we will show everything. Right? This other paragraph will go over here. We need a button also. And here we will add dot 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 so that we have to show like some more character is there. And here we will just have a span tag. Show more. And on click of this, what do we need to do on click of this?
We will write a method that will change
Right?
the
We just need to change this variable. So
yes to true.
click. We don't need a method also because only Boolean value is there. We just have to change the variable value. So vice versa, you
Yes.
can do it over here also.
It's close to true.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now instead
Yes.
of having it over here and again having it over here, this is again getting duplicated, repeated code.
Yes.
Instead of, we can put this over here. And if this variable is true, so now text only we have to make it dynamic, right? So if this variable is true, we will show this text, otherwise this text. So this text will go over here, show less and show more. See now. Understood? Again, instead of
Understood.
having this, you can have a button or something. Getting it? Okay, so this is a very simple example. Whatever we are saying over here, this is because of JavaScript, whatever they might have written. Okay. So instead of that, same thing we have achieved by using plain Angular. Okay. Now, so substring is from your JavaScript, right? Instead of that, we can make use of pipe also. Bug it. But again, if you have to use the pipe and we are in the standalone, so again, you need to import it also. But without importing, we can directly use the substring. So this is the best way to do it then. Understood, everyone?
Yes.
Can you use pipe also?
Yeah, that slice pipe we can use, na?
Yeah.
Right? Same thing, na? Slice pipe we can use
Sir,
that on array also and string also.
Slice is new pipe. Like
It is
No.
from
sir, if you are
it is from old
sir,
only.
sorry,
Nothing new.
if you are using the slice one, so does it support the negative index also, sir? Because we are giving the 0 to 5 something index, right?
Let's try slice pipe instead of this. Slice. What do we need? Slice. Start.
You may yeah, we may given 0 and the column 5, sir.
Start
I
and
mean
the
just
number.
for it.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
start and the end.
Start
No,
Just
it's
number
start
and
the
then
indexing and end.
yeah, same thing like that substring only. See? Okay.
No, my
Yes.
question is, sir, is the substring is allowed in the TypeScript? So that's what I'm asking because it's a JavaScript topic, no? So that's
No, whatever you write in JavaScript, everything is there in TypeScript.
expression.
What's the TypeScript? A superset of JavaScript only, na? Almost
yes, sir.
things, whatever you have in JavaScript, you can use it in TypeScript. Okay. So then
How is that click event working? Is ShowMore
we are
equal
just
to?
changing the variable value. You can move this code into function also, but in that function also you are going to just change the variable value, no? So instead of creating function, here only we are changing the variable value. Okay. So no need of function also. Is this correct or no? Let's try it one more time. Yeah. Okay. So working. No, something is wrong. Lorem ipsum by default is showing something else. Wait. Instead of hyphen, I think it is colon. Yeah. Now working fine. So either you can use substring or you can use the slice pipe also. Okay. So this is the first reusable component. Now consider like you across all the project, you have so many places where let's say in a table, in a card, you are showing some information and text is multiple. Right? So many characters are there and you don't want to disturb your design of the card or some table. So you use this reusable component a lot. Okay. This is the first one. Then second one is the card one. So card one is like, let's go to Bootstrap. Card. Okay. Consider this card or just a normal card. Let's say this card. This is your card design. You will have a div with card, then you will have a card header, then you will have a card body, then you will have a card footer. Let's say your UI is like that, or your project structure is like that. You have your form or list or card, whatever you are showing. That design is with the card. So in every component, you have if you want to show the card, if you want to show the form, if you want to design a form, you have to design that form inside a card, right? You have a label and inside card body you have the form. If you want to show the table data into the table, that too again you will have a card header and card body, you will show the table. So your card is going to be get repeated in every component. Okay. So now when we say reusable component, in every component, in card body, content is going to change, right? Somewhere table columns can be anything. Somewhere instead of table, we can use card. Somewhere forms can be different. So how we are going to make it reusable? Only this structure is going to be repeated, right? But the content in the card body, it's not going to be repeated, right? Every component will have something different. So here, this structure will be in a single component, means your card will be in a single component, reusable one, but UI you will be passing from a parent component. Okay. So till now, like those who have not done like that, so you might be aware like with input what you can pass, array, object, your string, number, whatever you can pass. But we can pass HTML also in the input. It's not with input you can just pass the input. It's not like you can just pass string, array, or number, object, or boolean. You can pass HTML also as a input to your child component. Okay. So there you will be able to see that template also, ng template also. Now, our card component. So as I said, this is your structure, which is going to be common. Okay. So this structure, you will put it over here. Now, yeah, don't everyone speak at once. How many input we will be needing over here? How many input we'll be needing?
Only for the
Header
contents.
data.
Only one for the contents.
No, but header also should change. No? Let's say you are
Three.
using this card in the employee component, you will show employee list, employee form,
Okay.
right? In the
Okay.
department, you will need department list, new department, right?
Yes. Yes.
And footer again, footer will be optional. Sometimes you will need footer, sometimes you will not need footer, right? It can change, right? So we will need one
Yes.
input to send the title, and here we have to send we are going to receive a template. Means whole HTML form or whole HTML code you are going to receive over here. So we are going to need two input. So first add the right input, round bracket. So you will be card title, data type will be string. Then second will be you are going to receive HTML template. Okay. So we will say HTML template. Now, what will be the data type? I'm going to receive a HTML code over here in this input. So what type of data type we should give?
It might be, if you are displaying the text means, we have to go with string.
No, I'm
or
going to directly get the
Number.
HTML code.
number types.
HTML.
Number type.
I'm going to get HTML code. So what number? I'm going to get HTML.
Element ref, sir.
No, element ref. Where do we use element ref? When we have to
For a
get the
particular
reference of the element. No,
HTML
reference of
if
the
you
element.
send-
DOM element we get in element reference. Here I said we are going to get the HTML code. So template is there. Oh, template removed.
reference.
Template reference. So in previous version we used to have template. Okay. Now here element. Now it will ask us to initialize. So let's add it like this. Fine. So we have created two inputs over here. One where we are going to send the title. This title we are going to directly interpolate over here. Okay. Now in card body, we have to, now we are going to get the, what do we say, template. So that we need to render it, right? So we need ng container over here. Okay. Now we have, it is giving error.
Declare class.
Declare class.
ng container, no.
Oh.
We have to import it also. ng container.
The spelling is missing.
No, we don't have to use the ng container. We don't have to import anything. This error, ng container is a not.
Spelling
Spelling
is
mistake.
incorrect.
The spelling mistake.
Okay. Sorry, spelling mistake was there. So that's it. Okay. So we have ng container. What is the use of ng container first of all? What are the scenarios where we use?
I mean, it will create the dynamic. I mean, there is no extra DOMs like that. So that is the main point of the ng
That is
container.
the main purpose, right? But that is just a very obvious definition. The one more
When
level
we-
to that.
Yeah,
I
when we need to add different like the structure directive, when we need, like when we want to achieve, when we want to use two structure directive, like that time
Yeah,
also.
that is also there. That is also there.
It's allowed to group element without adding extra DOM.
Yeah, right. Structural directive we cannot add on the two elements, so there we use it. But the main purpose, that is also the purpose. But ng container we use to inject dynamic element into it. Anyone have created
with the
dynamic
help of direct
component?
yes.
We can create dynamic component also. So that create dynamic.
It's like
create
it prevents
Yes, sir. With the
unnecessary
help
div and
of array
span.
form.
right. So here we have a that directive like template reference out. What is that? Template ng template. Do we need to input something? It's not coming. I think we need to import ng template outlet. Yeah, we need to import it. Okay. Now here you can pass the variable input variable where you are going to get the HTML template. Okay. So here you are going to get the HTML code. That code you are going to inject in your ng container by using ng template outlet. Okay. Now this is our component. Let's hide this for now. Don't need this. If I go to my parent component, so app hyphen this okay. Now this is my card component. So first parameter is like card title. Let's say it over here. Test card. This is the first thing. Now the HTML which I want to render, where it is. What's the data type of it? Template reference, right? So here I need to pass the template. So in this component, in the parent component, I need to create ng template. Reference variable, my template, and our code, I will move it over here. And this template I will pass as a parameter to my second input like this. Okay. Let's save all and let's check it now. See, you got the card, and inside card, whatever the content you pass, that is rendered inside the card. Let's make it a little bit proper. Let's say you have something like this, row, call it, and in call it, you are going to have this. And again, let's say in call 4, you have form or something to display. Okay, so you will create another template there. Let's say you have unit in first card, you need to show the list. So here you will design the table, and another template you will create where you will have the HTML form, and that form you will provide it over here. So you will get a proper structure like that. So consider like in every component, you have a structure like this. So instead of creating this design everywhere else, that design it as a single place now. This will be helpful or no? Consider you are working on a big project. This will be helpful or no?
Yes, sir.
Whenever, right? Let's say, again, you design this, okay? And after 2 or 3 sprint, client decided like instead of this background color, this you want to have something else. But let's say if you don't have that reusable thing, in every component you have to go and change it, and all those testing will be again done. But since these things are coming from your single component, now it's very easy to make changes, right?
How can we change the card title?
Card title. Here I'm passing just the static, right? Instead of that, you can create a variable, and that variable you can pass it over here, right? Understood or no? It's just a simple. White color is not coming. PG primary only. Na? Why color is not coming? What is wrong over here? Okay, it is getting overridden. Card header BG primary, correct only. How come okay, in card header only we have that color. Oh, sorry, I'm overriding it in my style. Okay, so now you have a control over everything. So yeah, only in one component you have to change, and that will reflect everywhere. So testing time will be reduced now. Clear? Again, like in our reusable component, we have this footer also. Let's say this also you need to make it dynamic. So how you will configure this? In some component you need the footer, in some component you don't need the footer. Let's say in the form, you will need save and the cancel button in the footer. So this should be configurable, right? It should not be visible at all times, because in the table card, you don't want footer, right? So how you will make this configurable? What I'm
The
saying.
boolean, sir, is show or
Right.
hide.
So what you can do, one more input you need. I said it should be configurable. So that should come from your parent component, no?
Yeah.
Correct? So we will just increase one more input. Show footer.
Can you use star ng?
Star ng for whatever at the rate. But try using control flow
Use
statement.
star
In Angular 20, they are going to remove ng and ng for. Okay. So that ng for and ng if they are going to remove. So control flow, not every project is converted into the new version, but if your project is going to start now, so then again, just here also content can be dynamic. So again, one more input will be needed over here. Just like we are accepting temp body. So just like that, one more input will be needed. And that again, we will render it over here. Okay. This is one way. Now, here we are sending the template. We are accepting template like this. Okay. There is one more way. That example will be, yeah, I have it already over here. So this ng content. So what's the use of ng content? This is
To
another
project the
component, my
HTML.
button, right? So ng content is a directive which will allow you to project the content, whatever the content you get. Now this is my component, okay? See, simple button component. Inside that, what do we have? Simple button. And inside button, I just have ng content. If it is a normal button component, how many input you should have? Forget about this ng content. If I say you, normally you have to create a reusable button component. How many input you will have? Minimum. Button text should come from your parent component.
One text.
Class,
Yes.
class should come from parent component, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just like that, instead of having a text, I can pass sometimes. Let's say you might have also seen. Sometimes we just have the button text. Sometimes we have icon and button text. Correct? So, I'm just giving error. So this is my reusable component. I might have used it somewhere. Let's just check. Yeah, in lifecycle I was. So see, lifecycle, or let's use this component into text. Okay. So now I have my button. Okay. This component I'm using. First, let's say add user I'm saying. Fine. So over here you can see add user printed over here. But let's say you can see so in between the component selector, whatever you pass over here in between component selector, that will get rendered over here in ng content. Okay. In between selector of your component, wherever you use your component selector, in between whatever you write it over here, this will get rendered over here in ng content. Okay. So let's say you have a button over here and inside that you pass the text. But let's say you need one more button and inside that button, along with this, you need a icon also. See, I have a button with icon mode. Understood? So now HTML also you have the control. So first was like you can create an ng template and that template you can pass as a parameter to your input, or you can design your component like this where whatever the content I want, I will pass it in between the selector and that you will render it over here like that. So these are two ways by which you can pass HTML from your parent to the child. And how do we render that? Understood? First by using ng container or by using ng content. So those who are having more than 4 or 5 years experience, you should know your ng template outload also. This one also and ng content also. And when it comes to ng content, just like view child we have, just like that. What is that? Content child, no? Content child is also there. View child we have, just like that, content child is also there. Content child is only, no? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, content child. So whenever you have to retrieve the data or you need the reference of dynamically injected element, right? Some element which are going to render over here that you don't have it over here, but that are going to be dynamically injected. And if you need the reference of that, there you create content child. View child you will create when you have a physical element. There you will create, there you will use the view child. But if the element is dynamically getting rendered, you have to use content child. 4+ experience guys should know it. These
Yes.
are questions now becoming very basic. Okay.
Sir, if this ng content having the data with any data, I mean, so how to work with that, sir?
How to? No.
I mean, for suppose.
See, here you are passing just a text.
Hmm.
It is loading. Here you have one element and again one more element. So your question is, how do you select this particular anchor I tag? Correct?
No, sir. For suppose
What do you mean
we
by
had the for
data
loop.
first of all? Yeah, that
I mean,
see, ng for loop here it can have anything. Here you can have anything. Ng for click event, anything you can have. Whole code you are going to pass it over there. Doesn't matter if you have ng for, ng if, click event, everything will work same way how it should work. Just this code, whatever the HTML code you write it over, it is going to display inside over here. Okay. Understood or no? Let's say this
no, sir. My question. Okay, we will talk later, sir. You may continue class. Sorry for the response.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, my point is, sir, for suppose take this ng container. So we are daily we are working with that, right? So within an ng container, I'm going to place another ng container. So is it possible to, I mean, how to explain them, sir?
Yes, yes.
In one ng container
Is
or
another
template?
ng container. Both, we may use the ng template also.
And that you want to pass in between the selector. Here.
No, sir. Could you please open HTML template? Then I will clarify.
Which one?
The my button component.
Oh, okay. Okay,
for
just
suppose,
like this, you will have one more.
Another child one. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Within the two entries, and not
yeah.
out of the ng content.
It's like a select property.
I think we have something. Yeah, got
Do
it.
not duplicate the line, sir. I'm telling that within the ng content, I'm having the
ng content. No.
Exactly.
Here
Yes,
you
sir.
cannot control anything. Whatever you get in between that selector, that will get rendered over here.
Okay, sir.
Inside this, you cannot control anything now because whatever you have it over here that you are passing in between the selector of this component, that get rendered over there. Inside that, you cannot have anything. But like just like this ng content, you can have one more ng content also. Okay. Let's say some piece of code instead of button. Let's say this card. Let's say you have this. This is one ng content. This is another ng content inside over here. That is
exactly,
manageable.
sir.
But inside ng content, you cannot manage anything. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now.
Sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah. Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, I have one doubt which is not relevant to this session. Can I ask?
Let me complete the reusable table, then we can. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Fine. So reusable table. Now this is also most important one and a little bit tricky. Once you know that logic, most of you might be knowing that also. It's very easy, but just that quick logic is important. Okay. So if we talk about table, let's say in topic list only. Template 2 and this template 2, I will pass it over to. Okay, I'm removing everything over here. Let's say you have a table over here. Let's copy paste. Table. Data ordered one. So this is your table. Consider you are working on a normally 60 or 70% time we work on admin application while working on Angular. We use tables so much, right? Not in every page we show pagination or searching or sorting. So many components we have where we just want to show limited number of data. Sometimes we use card to show that, sometimes we use table. If we have multiple information, we go for a table. If we have limited information, we go for card. But table, 70 or 80% we go for table only, right? But if you see the structure is not going to change. In every component, you are going to have same structure. You might be also working on the same project where you see in every component, you have table repeated again and again, right? But instead of repeating this and again, you can create a reusable component of it because this structure doesn't change. You have a table, you have a T head, inside that TR, this TH, somewhere 2 TH, somewhere 3 TH, somewhere 15 TH, this might change. Okay. And again in T body, your TR is going to one means this is going to be repeated, just TD is going to change according to the data. So this is going to change and this is going to change. So instead of creating this table in every component, we can create a reusable component of it. And instead of having this static thing created in every component, we can make it dynamic. That's how you create a reusable table component. This is most famous one for 4 to 5 year experience. As I said, now interview strategies or pattern are changing so many ways you can't imagine. They are not only limited to your API integration or completing CRUD application. Yeah, if you are having 2 to 3 years of experience, they might limit to creating CRUD application of some local storage, API integration, something or login page, but or some external third-party library integration. But after 4+ now, there are so many things. Yesterday, forgot the name, walking tree, some technology company is there. Okay, so someone shared me 3 machine tests they have asked him to do. Just remind me, I will explain that also. So consider in every component you have this table structure. So instead of having it every component, we just want to make it dynamic. So let's remove it. Let's paste it over here. Okay. Now, let's say this is your UI and you want to make it dynamic. What things you can make it dynamic over here? This is your HTML code.
Table head.
We have to use it bindings with template templates.
and TD.
How many input you will be needing, first of all? How many input you will be needing?
3 inputs.
Minimum, I'm saying. Okay. Minimum. 3 or 2?
Minimum of
2,
2.
sir.
Just table head and the table data.
2.
Minimum
TH
2
data and TD data.
right? So how many columns you want to display and your grid data? Minimum 2 columns, 2 input you need. Column array and your grid actual array. Okay. So
yes.
Create and the rate input. First will be, let's say, column array. Those who have used PrimeNG or AG grid, they should know this. Same thing we have it over here. We use their component. That component we are creating now. Okay. It will be, let's say, string array. Second, grid data list. Now this will be any of array. We cannot strongly type this because sometimes we might use this table for employee list somewhere, sometimes department designation. Data can be anything. So here we have to go with any only. Okay. So as I said, now questions are going different. You might get this question also, like when do we have to use? Everyone knows like we don't have to use any, but they might ask you also, when then if we cannot use, then what's the purpose of any? So this is one of the scenario. where we should use any. Okay. Now, here we are supposed to get this, how many column you are going to have, array of string. So let's use it at the rate for. Can you remove this? Or I've drawn this. Share it again. Doing this my session, do you do the same thing in your company call also? Okay. So this was static. Instead of that, we are putting that in your for loop. Okay. Let's go step by step. Now in my parent component, I have my table. Sorry. Okay. So first input my column array. Here we need to pass the array. Either you can create a variable and there you can store it, or here also you can declare it. Okay. Let's say we have name, city, state, mobile. Just like that. In second, let's say here it is EMP ID, EMP name, EMP project name. Okay. Let's just say here we just have 3 columns. Let's save. Let's save and let's save. It is saying like this. Save. Okay. So see, in first column we got 4 columns and here we got 3. Columns are dynamic. Whatever the column we are passing from our parent component, it is displaying like that. Here we pass the 4 column, so it is displaying 4 column over here. And in second column we have just passed the 3, so it is displaying that. Okay. Now in parent component, first we have to create the array. Topic list. Okay, I have got the user list over here. So I'm calling. So let's pass the user list. Now in user list, I think JSON plus older API. Let's check what data we get. So we have name. So in first column, I'm changing the column name. Then we have username. Then email and website. Okay. So first, for first table, I'm using the data from this user API. So this user list variable, I'm passing it over here as a grid. Grid data list is equal to this variable. Okay. And for second column, we have employee data. So let's create a static array. Employee list colon any of array is equal to empty. It's going to be array of object. Same property we need, EMP ID, comma, EMP name, third property, EMP project name. Copy paste. Okay, and this employee list I'm passing over here as a second parameter. So in from my parent component, I'm passing the column list also what I need to display. I mean, in my table, how many columns are going to be there? And I'm passing the array also, what data we need to actually display. Now in my child component. So we have this TR over here. Now you also know, like whenever we show the data, whatever the data we have, like the array, right? Inside this variable, you are going to get the array. So we use this to iterate TR because how many number of rows you have, that many time your TR should get created, right? So first for loop will be on your TR, means data list. Okay, let's put this over here. Okay, let me just save it and let's test it. We haven't done everything, but let's test it. So see, from user API, we got 10 records. So see, your TR got created 10 times. And in employee, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 records are created. Yeah. So that many times your TR got created. But now, here, whatever the data we get in this column, that only should display. Here, name should display, here, username, here, email, and your website. Just like that, EMPID, employee name, and project name. Right? Respective in that column, we should show that particular column. Okay. So for that, if I show you, first we will use a pipe because I need to show what data we are getting. So your JSON pipe. So item, I will print it over here first. JSON, okay. Now see, currently I have removed the static TD because we cannot have anything static, right? So I will just have a 1 TD. So in 1 TD, I have pasted the data what I get. So see, complete, because we are iterating on the array. So that first object we got it over here. But our, just like our columns are 4, just like that my TD should be also 4. How many columns I have, that many times TD should be there. So this same for loop, again, we have to iterate inside this TR. Okay. And that many time, instead of item, let's say call, that many time my TD should get printed. So see, first for loop is on my TR, on the grid data list, means how many record I have, that many time my TR should get created. Then in my TR, TD will also get dynamic, right? Because how many column I have, that many time TD should get created. So I have another for loop inside the TR to make my TDs also dynamic. Okay. Now, here you see we have printed the whole item. So see, that many TR I'm getting. Sorry, that many TDs are getting created. But now you have item, in item you get the whole data. Now you have column overall. So first I'm printing column. And after that equal to sum I'm giving. Now just see properly. You have the whole object and you have this key name. So in your object, you have the key name. See here, username, email, website, somewhere website. So you have an object. Inside that object, this particular key is also present. Now, from this object, you want to extract a particular value for this particular column. So instead of pipe, here I will use square bracket. Dynamic. How do you read a dynamic? How do you access a dynamic? Means how do you access a value? By using dynamic key. So that's the example here. This call I will pass it over here on the square bracket. So we use item dot. We cannot use dot over here because your key name is also dynamic. So that's why square bracket. So see now, you get proper data with that particular column. This is your reusable table. Very basic one. Again, there are so many variations and so many things we can do, but a very basic one. So this is that only logic, our extra for loop for the TD, and inside that for loop, item dot your whatever the column name you have. This is how you create your reusable table. It's just a pure logic. Okay. Yeah, understood. Again, like you can have a single search box, pagination, everything you can put it in a one component. So as I said in the earlier, if you are working on a insurance project, so consider like 7 to 8 projects are there, and you have created a component where you have pagination, sorting, searching, everything. So consider like how this table, how this component is getting useful in all the project, right? Understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Understood, sir. But I want to bring up a scenario. whereby let's say the column head does not have almost the same name as that of the object type. Like let's say when they like let's say the case sensitive is different, like for the column header.
Right.
So we
So
will
let's say,
in that
yeah.
okay.
So currently what we are showing, the column names are as per the property name, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Whatever the logic we have written currently, that is like our column name should be as per the property name, because that's what we are using it over here. But we don't display like this, no? We should have a control over our column name, right? So instead of passing the string array, you can pass an array of object where you will have column name and the field name. Okay. Instead of string array, you will get the array of object, column name and the field name. And over here, while displaying item dot column name, you will use, and here item dot field name you have to use. Understood?
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir.
So many scenarios are. This is just a basic. Again, so many things you can do. Again, somewhere you have to add a pipe also. In some pipe, you will have to use pipe. What do we say? Uppercase, lowercase. Somewhere you get the date value, so you have to use the date pipe. So when you create this instead of string, now you will provide a data type also for this column, and according to the data type, you add a dynamic pipe also over here. Okay, like that. Yeah.
Sir, here you're I mean you're displaying all the columns within the table, right?
Right.
So is it a good approach to display all the items at once, or we have to specify each and every column like TD, username TD, first name, last name, like that.
But that
So
will
which
be
is a good
static.
approach, sir?
But that is a static now again.
No, I'm
Let's
not talking static manner, sir. By using this interpolation only, we are if we have to display only certain items. So instead of item of call, so removing that, so TD
No.
of first name.
You cannot say. Let's say this component you are using over here. Here you have first name. But let's say this same component you are using in product list also. There you have that field. If you do something like that.
Okay, got your point, sir.
So
Understood.
that will be
Yes, sir.
static, na? Right?
Okay, this
Everything
is
should be
static thing.
dynamic.
Okay.
This is static thing.
Okay. Sure,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Can we apply data table in the table?
Data table, prime ng table, AG grid, anything. You can have it over here. Okay. So when we work on actual enterprise
we can pagination.
Everything you can put it over here. You can convert this normal table into your data table also. What is data table? You just have pagination, sorting, and searching, right? That custom code you can write it over here. Okay. Normally in enterprise application, we don't create custom table also like this. We depend on some library. Either we use PrimeNG, AG Grid, Syncfusion, right? Any library. But that library has their UI, right? But that whatever the UI they have, we cannot use that UI color combination. So normally what we do, we create a reusable component for table, but inside that we create a wrapper on AG Grid or PrimeNG. Because internally you are going to use AG Grid and PrimeNG, but again you are creating a wrapper on that AG Grid and the PrimeNGs because you should have a control on it. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, in drop down browser compatibility, I want to know. Means in drop down in Chrome, it is displaying properly. Default select type of file and drop down list, some names of files are there. In Firefox, it is not showing like default one. Select type of file. Pardon?
But no, default should show, na? Have you used that selected attribute?
Actually, in Chrome, it is displaying, sir. But in Firefox, it is not displaying the default value.
The first option you have, which is you are using as a placeholder, have you added ng that default or something selected attribute?
Yeah, select attribute option.
An option, whatever the default value you have, let's say empty, that is also assigned properly?
Yeah, yes, sir. One also properly. And
Adding a
actually,
phase
na in
because
Chrome,
can you check the
actually,
name attribute? Name attribute is something else, which is not your ng model. Because in my project, we use it. Same behavior we get, not with the drop down.
actually today
Send
I
me the
didn't
code.
get.
Send me the code, like HTML code
Okay, sir.
photo.
Hello.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
To,
Santosh.
to which number, sir? Is it your
Yeah,
personal?
I wanted to ask out of this project. Like I am stuck in that. So can I ask that now?
Sorry, which one?
Out of this project, like I'm in my own project, I'm stuck there somewhere. Can I ask that out now?
Is it a small one or a big one?
Is it actually it is a company's project, so that I'm
Don't
stuck.
share. Don't share it over here. We will connect up. Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
one
Where
small doubt, sir. Not regarding this table
Yeah.
one. Me and Karan just discussing about the registration process, sir. Actually, he raised a concept that so for duplication validation, he given some inputs. So my approach is that I said that so if we stop the duplication with the help of client side. So,
Client
but
side.
when I searching the client side, it is not a good approach. So, how to solve this? But for suppose
See,
I'm
got it.
yes, sir. Yes.
Let's say you are working on a big project, and that project at a time is going to be used by thousands of the user. Okay.
Okay. Sir.
Right. And let's say you decided to go duplicacy handled on the UI side. On your machine, you handled. Okay. Before saving, you handle somehow the duplicacy. Right. You will check your array if the array name, that particular username is there or not. On your machine, it will work fine. But let's say someone else is using the same application and the name you are using, he also use the same thing. So how you will handle that? Right? Because whatever the array you have, that on the page,
No,
whatever you
not that one, sir. My question is for suppose just there are only four fields: full name, email address, password, and the something phone number. So I have submitted my data to the database. This is one of the record. So without again, I'm putting the remaining 3 days the same and just I'm changing the full name. For suppose my full name is Suritesh, and the second time I'm giving it Suritesh Devarapu, and along with the same email data which I submitted previously. So how to sort this out, sir?
So first of all, we don't handle duplicacy on the UI side. It should be handled from the API only. Because as I said, same application, consider like same application, you are also using, someone is also one. So how you will handle, right? So that should get validated at the API side only. Before entering the data, we check like if that particular image already exists or not. Then we send that invalid error with the API. So we don't handle that on the UI side. Okay. But let's say you are creating. Wait, let's say you have an employee form, and while creating in employee form, family details are multiple. Okay. And in the creation mode, in your table, that employee onboarding application I showed where you can add multiple family members. And while adding a family, you want to have a unique name inside that table only. There you can have the client side validation because you have not submitted that. When you click on add, your family name should not get repeated.
Sorry,
there you can. Understood or no?
I mean, my questions are easy. I got your point, that, but the thing is that so is it right way to validate with the client side? I mean, with
Yeah, so
the
that's the scenario I'm saying now. You are registering for yourself. Family member will be family name. It should be unique to your record only, right? Let's say someone is also registering, he can have the same family name, na? So it is only limited to you. So there you can have client side validation. Okay, because that family name should be unique according to your record only, not with anyone else. Anyone else can have the same family name member name also. But in your family detail, you should have only one family name that should be unique. So there you will use UI side only. So based on scenario, somewhere we have to depend on the API side validation. Sometimes on the UI side, we need to handle. Clear? Karan, clear?
Hello, sir.
Sorry, I got disconnected. Understood,
Sir?
Ritesh?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the option tag, I used hidden one empty thing. I used hidden value. That hidden is not working in
Okay, hidden property you use. So hidden
Mozilla.
might not,
Chrome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So might not be there. So we have to use that polyfill to handle the hidden.
So no, so one approach is, sir, with the help of CSS, we can set it as a appearance none for select because
Yeah,
for Safari also
I
it
Yeah,
tried
might
that
CSS
one.
be.
also we can do, but yeah, CSS
I
also should be
tried, sir,
fine.
that one also. I tried that one also, sir. In Chrome, it is working. Even using CSS also.
Okay, now send me that image. I will check. Okay. Fine. Okay. So let's.
Actually,
Okay, sir. Can I share this pic HTML pic?
Yeah.
With to which number, sir? Is it this number?
Message.
Is it okay?
Yeah. Whatever the message I putting on that number only.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So the scenario which I
Hi, sir. I have one doubt.
Yes, Sagar, quickly.
Actually, I'm working on a Angular
Your voice is breaking. Voice is breaking. Sagar, your voice is breaking.
How I am audible, sir? Hello.
Message. Just put it your first.
Wait a minute, sir. My voice is audible, sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, actually, I'm working as an Angular 15 version project, and recently my team will be updated 18th version. What is the major changes will be and some functionality is completely different to 15 and 18 version.
They have migrated with
And the
standalone
routing.
or they have migrated with standalone or the older structure only they are using?
Actually, standalone.
So in case of standalone, so many things will change from your component selector,
Yeah.
right? ngIf for
Yeah,
using ngIf, we need to add
everything will be functionality will be only mentioned in TS file only.
Right, TS file. So many changes might be happening. It might have already taken care
Actually,
also.
Naturally, in 15 version, everything in app routing will be path will be defined in app routing. In the completely different in Angular 15 version, I have a little clumsy structure my project, and a completely different variations updated will be 18 version.
You already converted or you are going to convert?
Yeah. Actually, the team will be converted in the 18 version, update version.
Yeah. So ng update
What are
command
the requirements?
You don't see from 15 to 16 you will do, then 16 to 17 and then 18, right? Manually they will use. And with ng update, everything is almost taken care. You normally just third party things, whatever, if third party library you're using, there only it will break, but almost things will be covered by ng update only. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine. Thank you all. Thanks for joining.